Okay, so next time you'll end up with a piece of clay that you're going to form into a ball of clay, okay? And then we'll have some extra here that you can use to add in the crystals for your geode, but you can also use to create other pieces of clay. I would say that the ball of clay that you're going to want to have is about the size of a golf ball, maybe a ping pong ball, okay? Once you have it formed into a ball, you're gonna place it in the palm of your hand and you're gonna push your thumb into it about to your first knuckle. Mine's really hard because this clay is really old, okay? Once I have that hole there, then I'm going to start pinching it to create my pinch pot. Now, a lot of times people start pinching up here at the top. You wanna make sure that you also pinch down here at the bottom of the bowl to make the opening nice and big as well, okay? Now, mine, like I said, is old clay, so it's going to crack a lot on me. Yours will not be this old. You will not have a lot of the cracking that I do on mine, okay? You will also have a little bit more clay than what I started out with. So my geode is much smaller on this one than my examples, okay? If you're forming your pinch pot, you'll notice when you feel it that the thickness of the bottom of your pinch pot is going to be about the same as the sides, okay? Psst. Isaac, stop. Thank you, sir. Now, if you do have this kind of cracking up here at the top, you can take your finger, dip it into your water, and then use that to kind of smooth some things back together, okay? But we don't want to have it too perfect, because why do we not want to have it too perfect? What is this? A rock. And geodes are kind of smooth on the outside. They're definitely a rock ball, egg kind of shape, but they're still a rock. They're not like super, super smooth, okay? So you just kind of want to make sure there's not a lot of cracking going on, okay? After that, I like to take mine and I kind of push it down just gently onto my surface, and that helps flatten out the bottom so that way it doesn't rock back and forth, okay? After that, here's what we're gonna do. I know this is a little hard to see because of my lamp, but I'm gonna take one of my pokey tools. It's just a paper clip that's been unfolded, and I'm going to make some scratches down here on the bottom of my geode, okay? And then I'm gonna add water in. Now what happens with this water and all of these scratches is this creates something called slip. Slip is like glue for clay, okay? And if you try to stick clay together without creating this glue, it doesn't work very well, okay? It's supposed to be kind of slimy and slick and things like that. That's what we want. See how it's like that, okay? The reason why we do those scratches is to help push that water down into your clay and help it bond more, okay? So once I have that done, now I'm gonna take some of my extra clay and I'm just going to pinch little pieces. And I'm gonna kind of form them, roll them around in my hand just a little bit, and then I'm gonna take them and I'm just going to gently push them into the bottom of my bowl. Grab another piece, pinch that. I don't have to keep adding water because the bottom of my bowl still has all that water. I'm going to keep doing this over and over until I have filled in the bottom of my clay, or my bowl here, excuse me. Now, whenever you pinch them, they should be about the size of like a tiny rock, maybe about the size of a green pea. Or gravel, yes, okay? And you're gonna keep doing that until you have filled in the bottom of your pinch pot to create the bottom of your geode. I really think that this type of bottom is going to be what we end up creating as opposed to this one that just has those little dots in them. However, there's a possibility we might end up using both techniques. Like maybe we'll put the little pieces down here in the bottom like this, and then we can take the tool that I used for this. The tool I used for this is kind of like a stick, but it's got little kind of a zigzag edge onto it, and I just kind of poked it over and over into the bottom of my clay. So we might end up using both. Maybe we'll put these at the bottom of your pinch pot, And then the rest of the outside of it, the outside of it, we'll use that little tool to kind of create the rest of the texture on the inside of our pinch pot here, our geode. Because if you remember looking at the geodes I showed you on the picture, those things are pretty filled up with crystals. They go all the way around, all the way to the edge. So the fact that my example here has pretty smooth right here, it looks good, but it's not quite the way that geodes look. So we might end up doing both of them instead, okay? Once you've got the inside good with, you've got your crystals, some of them are big, some of them are small in mine, okay? After you've got those in, what I'm gonna gently do is I'm gonna gently just push just a little on them to make sure they're nice and stuck down. I don't wanna flatten them out, but I've made sure they're nice and pushed. On the bottom of it is where you're going to do your initials, and you're going to use the carving tool here to do your initials, okay? And that's all that we're gonna do for our geode, okay? Let me show you really quick that tool that I was talking about. I'll try it on this one. Caitlin, sit up, please. Stop playing around. Okay. So, this is the tool that I have. Okay, you see how the end of it, it kind of has like a jaggedy edge, okay? So then I took that and I just gently poked it in like that. Sorry, you can't see it the other way. It looks like it, but I think it's gonna be just great. See, and like my clay is even just a little too dry here. Oh, I like this. The tricky part is not to accidentally smush one of your crystals you spend so much time putting in there. Okay, so it's kind of got a combination of both. I think I like that. So we might end up doing both, okay?